Greetings, Rajee here. Remember the show Touched by an Angel? Oh my God, it was such a good show. It went from 1994 to about 2003. Had a pretty long run, but I loved that show. The show was about three angels who came to the planet Earth in human form, and they basically walked the earth to help and guide people as they were dealing with different crossroads in their life. Now, the three actors that played in the show were Roma Downey, Della Reese, and the late John Dye. He actually passed away in 2011. Now, John Dye, he played the Angel of Death. And Della Reese was like the real experienced angel. She had been around and she was kind of like the leader. And then, oh my God, I used to love when Roma Downey would like appear in the scene as an angel. She just looked so beautiful with her hair and the light behind her. I loved those scenes. But, it got me to thinking about angels and the different angelic moments I think that we all have had in our life. Like where you feel you're at a crossroad or you're in a situation that's going on, and you just, after the fact, you think, my God, there must have been an angel that had my back. I've certainly had many of those experiences in my life. But I would say the ones from like growing up stand out the most to me for whatever reason. Like I remember as early as, oh my God, 2 years old. I was probably younger than two, maybe about a year and a half to 2 years old. And I was sleeping in the bed with my parents. We hadn't actually moved into our home, the home that I grew up in. We were living in an apartment. And I was in the bed with my parents, in the middle of between my dad and my mom. And I woke up and I sat up, and there were two guys in our bedroom. And I'm looking at the two guys, and the one guy tapped the other guy and pointed to me, like, look who's up. My mom and my dad were knocked out sleeping. And all of a sudden, I heard a voice, and the voice said, lay down, go back to sleep, lay down, baby. It was like a real soothing voice, and I started feeling sleepy, and I lay back down, and I went back to sleep. Well, when I woke up to my mom in the hallway of the apartment with a police officer reporting the robbery and or the burglary, and it was like, oh my God! I mean, of course, at 1.5, 2 years old, I didn't realize how powerful that moment was until retrospect, because now looking back, I can say if I had made noise and like woke up my dad and my mom, I mean, it could have turned out to be a whole different scenario and a lot worse than what it was. So that was like my first recollection of what I would call an angel moment. Fast forward to I was probably about 10 years old, and my sister is 4 years younger than me, so she was around 6 or 7. I might have been like 10, 11. She was like 6 or 7. And it was a Saturday. My dad had to work a half a day at work. And my mom, she had to run to the store. So she says, okay, I'm going to leave you guys here because we were watching, like, the Saturday TV programming. We were all into that. So she said to me, she says, if anyone comes to the door and knocks or rings the bell, do not answer the door. Okay. She leaves, and don't you know, sure enough, that doorbell rang in the kitchen door, at the kitchen door, and I was so busy into the TV. I get up and I swing the door open, and it's this guy. He must have been like in his 20s. And he's like, yes, can you tell me where such and such a street is? Well, I knew that that was the next street over. So I said, oh, Well, this is Rugby Street. It's the next street over. So he's looking at me and he's kind of looking over me into the house and he's looking at my sister and he says to me, "Where's your mom?" So right then when he said that, it was like I just thought to myself, "Oh crap, you messed up. You weren't supposed to open this door." So I lied and I said, "My mom's here. She's upstairs." So he's like, "Your mom's not here." And I'm like, "Yes, she is." And I start calling her. I'm like, "Mom, mom." And the whole time he's looking, like kind of walking closer into the door. He hadn't come in yet, but he was like getting closer in and like looking around and everything. And I was so scared. When I tell you, I just kept thinking, "Oh my God, you messed up. Mom told you don't open the door. Now you're going to get hurt. Your sister's going to get hurt," because I felt responsible for my sister. So, because I was the older siblings, supposed to be in charge of things. And just then, my neighbor, we were like around the same age, Jennifer Pembleton, she came over out of the blue and she screams my name, Rajendra. That's my whole name, by the way. Rajendra, do you want to come play? And I turned to her and I said, "Oh, well, yeah, maybe in a little bit." When I turned back, the guy had already made it down our walkway and he was gone. In retrospect, I mean, even in that moment, I knew, wait a minute, that was a close one. And I felt such a relief. But as an adult, in retrospect, I really can say, "Oh my God, that was an angel moment." Because I do believe that there are people that act as angels too. Like fellow human beings that act as angels. So, thank you, Jennifer. Girl, that was a close one. He was up to no good. All right, so maybe not too long after that, maybe about a year or so after that, my mom had started working again. And when we came home from school, she had my sister go over to one of three neighbors' houses. And how I knew where my sister was is she'd leave a rubber band on the door. Green rubber band meant, one neighbor, red one meant another, and there was a brown one that meant another neighbor. So that's how I knew where she was. Now, it was up to me because my mom said if I wanted to just let myself in the house and get a snack and sit and do my homework, I could do that. I didn't have to go to one of the babysitters. But I had the option if I wanted to go, I could go. So this particular day, I come home from school, I look at the rubber band, and this rubber band represented Mrs. Partlow. So it was right across from us. And all of the houses were pretty much right there in the same vicinity, but Mrs. Partlow was directly across the driveway. So I thought, oh, I'll go in and I'll get a snack. I'll just do my homework here. So I walked in the house. Oh my God, and I'm getting chills right now. And I get a snack, I sit down, and I start doing my homework. And all of a sudden, I started to feel like someone was watching me. I just felt very uneasy, and it was like my brazen behind. I stopped doing my homework because I was writing, and I look up and I'm like, "I know you're watching me, right?" me being bold and brazen with my big mouth. I'm like, "I know you're watching me. I know you're in here." And I'm screaming that out. And then all of a sudden, something said, "Get out of the house." I grabbed my books. I walked out that door, closed it, and I ran over across the driveway to Mrs. Partlow's. I was there. Nothing. Everything was fine. I just told Miss Partlow, "Hey, I decided to come over." She's like, "That's fine. You sit and do your homework until your parents come." So when my parents got there, which wasn't like that much long after, My dad came over to get my sister and my mom was at the car getting some stuff out of the car. And when we walk out the door, literally coming out of our door are two men with these long like coats on, and they're carrying bags. I was like, oh my God, they must have been in the house when I was in there, or if they weren't, they were coming. It was one or the other. But whatever it was, another angel moment, I was led to get the hell out of there, and I did. It was just, oh my God. So, okay, there was another time I can think of when I used to walk up to the avenue. In my neighborhood, I come from the Mount Airy neighborhood of Philadelphia. And there's an avenue in Mount Airy called Wadsworth Avenue. And that's where a lot of stores are and restaurants and that sort of thing. The library's there. So my mom would let me walk up to the avenue and get a slice of pizza and a soda for it was like $1.50. Oh my God, I'm giving my age away now. Can you imagine $1.50 for a nice sized slice of pizza and a soda? Anyway, she left some money, and I asked her if I could go up to the avenue. She said yes, you can. So I at that time, God, when I think of this, I get a little, the trauma starts to come back. I was being really bullied a lot in school, and it was this one guy that used to bully me. Oh my God, he was relentless with it. It was every day, and he'd wait for me after school, and it was just relentless, and he'd take my gloves and my hat, and I was too ashamed to tell my mom that I was being bullied, so I would just say, "Oh, I lost him." So my mom was thinking that I was being careless and absent-minded, being like absent-minded. I was being absent-minded? Yeah, absent-minded. Oh, Lord, I'm losing my mind right now. It's the PTSD coming back. But anyway, so I lied to my mom and told her that, oh, I lost them. I don't know where they are. But meanwhile, this bully in school is taking. So she kept buying me more gloves and hats. And this was like probably just about the end of winter, maybe like beginning of March. So it was still kind of chilly. And I had my hat that I took with me. And I was like, I can't, I can't let this one go because I'm going to get in trouble. Because mom is like buying me like all these hats and gloves, and So anyway, I walk up to the pizza place, and I walk in the pizzeria. I order my slice of pizza, my soda. I sit, I enjoy my pizza, I drink my soda, and I get up and I go to walk out the pizza shop. So I walk about a block down, like not quite a block, a half a block, and I'm like, oh my God, my hat. I left it on the table. So this time I really was being careless. And this was a reality. I was like, oh, I gotta go get this hat. So I run back to the pizza place and I run inside, and now there's a group of guys that are sitting at that table. And I walk over and I say, excuse me, did anyone find a hat? So the guy was like, oh, you mean this hat? And I'm like, yes, it's my hat. Can I please have it? Oh, you want your hat? Oh, we'll give you your hat. And then they all get up. It was like about five of them. And they walk outside the pizza place. So I'm like running after them, trying to get my hat. Because yes, I know, damn it, it was just a winter hat. But mind you, I had already had like probably about five taken away from me and lied to my mom saying that I lost them. And it was like, this was crucial. I needed that hat back because I was going to get in trouble at home. So I'm in the middle of Wadsworth Avenue, and these guys are throwing the hat back and forth to each other. and I'm in the middle, and then they act like they're going to give it to me, and they snatch it back, and then they're calling me names. Do I have to tell you what kind of names they were calling me? Faggot and sissy. So I start crying. Yes, the sissy boy starts crying. No, but I was like, just give me my hat. I want to go home. Like leave me alone. And out of the blue, this guy comes out of nowhere. And actually, now I'm thinking he must have been a gay man. Just like now, thinking about it and the way his essence was, I'm pretty sure he was gay. But he came out of nowhere. And when I tell you, he got in all of their faces. He says, "You want to mess with someone? You pick on someone your own size." Because these guys were like a few years older than me. They were probably, I might have been 11 at the time. And they were probably like 16, 17. So, it was a pretty substantial difference. And he was like, "Give me that fucking hat," and he snatches the hat. He says, "You want to fuck with someone? Come on, fuck with me." And he told him off. They ended up like running off. So then he walks over to me. I'm crying, and he hands me my hat, and he says, "Here's your hat." And he says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." I said, "I just want to go home." He says, "I can walk you home if you want." And I was like, "No, that's okay." He's like, "Well, I'll walk you a few blocks." And he walked with me a few blocks. And, I don't remember like the details of the conversation, but he was trying to lift me up, like, and give me words of inspiration. I think I was so caught up in just being devastated and embarrassed on Wadsworth Avenue that I really didn't hear everything he said, but I could feel the energy of the conversation. It was almost like he saw himself in me, when he was little, and he was trying to like let me know, like, walk with your head up high and it's gonna be okay. And I swear, I don't know where he is. I don't even know if he's still here on the planet. He might be a real angel in heaven now, but I am so I have so much gratitude. I'm so thankful to him for that moment. That was definitely another angel moment. And I know, like, I think every human being can relate to this on some level. Like, those moments where you just feel like that divine intervention stepped in. And thank God, as a trans woman, I've been through so much and I've endured a lot of really hard times. But believe that, I do believe, I do believe that. I'm sorry. I do believe that there's been an angel looking out for me and watching over me all these years. And I'm so thankful to God.